He's Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight. He's one of those guys saying, who were you wearing? Right?
That was Dan. It was so weird because, coming in, there was that big hashtag of ask her more. And it kind of it felt weird to us because we're like, we've asked you more a lot throughout the entire world award season. And then don't wear this expensive dress that costs $100,000 and been shipped in by some designer and wear, millions of dollars worth of jewels. We won't ask if you don't wear.
Wait, is this Lady Gaga?
No, this is a big hashtag that a lot of the actresses had coming in, and they were saying, ask her more was this hashtag. It was trending on Twitter, and it was everywhere. And so, we talked to some of the ladies, and we were just like, this is probably fashion's biggest night. So I don't understand the kind of complaint and boycott.
They wanted you to ask serious questions to these actresses, not who were you wearing.
Right, and as you know, and you've dealt with this with ball players and then transferring over to being on a red carpet, nobody wants to talk about serious stuff on a red carpet. I mean, I'm talking about the actors. They don't want to talk about serious stuff 9 times out of 10. They're like, keep it light, keep it happy, and keep us moving.
Any awkward moments?
Not a lot of awkward moments because you know what? Everybody's kind of you know what this was like, Dan? During the NBA Finals, when you've tried, and now you're made it to Game 7, and you've been interviewing these players every single day, and you're looking at each other, and you're like, we know, we've talked about this, and we've talked about that. That was kind of the feel because there weren't any big stars and big splashy moments from the red carpet. There really weren't because it was a mellow carpet.
Have you ever mistaken somebody?
This happened. Let me just tell you this. I see people do it all the time. People do it all the time, and it's so funny. One time, a producer of ours was yelling at me to grab Terrence Howard, and I turned around, and I was like, that's not Terrence. And he was screaming over my shoulder, like, Terrence. And I was like, dude, that's not Terrence Howard. Stop. And usually, if you get a little confused, it'll take a second, but it'll kick in. But there were, I will tell you this. There were the red carpet. The cool thing about the red carpet was everybody was in a good mood. Maybe it was the rain. Jen Aniston, so much fun. Lady Gaga, happy and kind of giddy and opened up and was talking. I'll tell you this. Jared Leto, he's cutting his hair off. He said he's going to cut his hair off. And and who knew that he is really like, of all the photobombers, he's probably like the star photobomber. He's the guy that has the photobomb skills. Really, after that, it was like Idina Menzel was fun. She's fun. John Travolta was really weird.
I don't get what is going on with John.
Let me just say this, okay? And I listen. Okay. So one of the weirdest things that I of all my entertainment career was realizing that people wear these lace front wigs. And I was like, people would tell me about it. They're like, oh, it's a lace front wig. And I was like, what's a lace front wig? And what it is there's lace in the front so it looks like your hair is going into your scalp, and then they cover with makeup. So now John has posted pictures on the web, and he doesn't have hair. But then he'll throw on that lace front wig, and it's a little weird for me sometimes because I get caught up in looking at the lace front wig. So you're talking to somebody and you're just like, oh my God, I'm looking at your lace front wig. Wow.
But do you find yourself looking at J-Lo but not making eye contact as well?
Listen, I am open and honest with J-Lo all the time. She walks up, and I'm just like, look, that's ridiculous. You came in full mommy mode, and I'm looking at you. And I think that's sometimes people try to play like they're not. Have a natural man reaction. You got to sometimes have a natural man reaction.
But don't they want you to notice?
They want you to notice, and then people are like, oh, you're being creepy. And I'm like, no, I was being a natural man and having a natural man reaction. It's what I love about Chrissy Teigen. Last night talking to Chrissy Teigen, and she had a dress that was cut. I mean, it couldn't be cut any higher. The dress was cut almost all the way up her body. And she said, yeah, I'm struggling with it right now. And she says, but the good news is I have underwear. But if we win, the underwear will probably come off. And I'm like, there you go, Chrissy. Thank you for being honest.
It's Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Post-party, where'd you go?
You know what? I the Governor's Ball is really all there was. I mean, look, Elton John was good. Vanity Fair is the party, and everybody kind of went. But, this was one of those nights where it was very – Hollywood didn't go crazy and rage. The parties weren't raging. There weren't the big stars in the motorcades and people sneaking in and all. I mean, everybody went to Vanity Fair. And then after that, it was kind of mellow. It really was, Dan. It wasn't – it's like winning. It's like, do you remember when the Chicago Bulls won the title in Utah?
Yeah.
There was everybody just kind of went to the press center and all looked at each other. There was no place, there was no big party. There was no big thing. That was kind of like last night.
Who do you think who's still out right now?
I'll tell you this. I know that Ava DuVernay, the director for Selma, either she got up really early, but she was like favoriting pictures at like 3:45, 4 o'clock. So I know she's still out. I bet you Eddie Redmayne hasn't gone to bed. Guaranteed. He's out. You know what? I would say that the Arquettes are such a fun group that Patricia Arquette might have just, they all got together and just hung up and sat up all night long and kicked it.
Did you hold any Oscars?
Held no Oscars.
Oh, wow.
Held no Oscars. You know that? This year I held no. And it's funny because at the Governor's Ball, everybody usually walks up and gives you the Oscar for a second because they're just tired. I mean, they carry it around.
They're heavy, too.
They're heavy, and it's also like people's pass into parties. So the best part, Dan, is that, like, you may win for sound mixing, right? You're not on the list for any party. But you roll up to the front of Vanity Fair, and you just hold your trophy up. And they're like, oh, please come in, mister. We don't know your name, but you are carrying an Oscar. It's almost like somebody should get a statue, like, mocked up and carry it around to all the parties and get in. It would probably be, and I've probably given somebody an
Yes,
idea.
you have. Yeah.
There's going to be
my guys right here all raising their hand going, man, we could do that next year.
It's amazing watching the people get turned away at Vanity Fair because big names will get turned away if you're not on the guest list. But then just some dude rolls up with a statue. And you're like, what did he win for? And it's like, oh, he was the animation short winner. Okay.
Who have you seen get turned away?
Oh, no. People get turned away. Oh, I've seen stars get turned away.
Liam Neeson is not getting turned away.
If you are, I'm going to tell you this now. If you're not on the guest list at Vanity Fair, forget it. You're out. You're not getting. It's just. I'm sorry. And that, and then Madonna's late night party. If you're not on the guest list, and she doesn't care. Like some of the parties, like when Prince throws a party, they recognize you. They're like, come on in. And Madonna's, they don't. You're not on the list. I don't care who you are. You don't get in.
Can't you just say you dated her?
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
And you know what else? Can I tell you something, Dan? Something else. So Tyler Perry has a party a couple of weeks ago to celebrate his wrap-up of the haves and haves not on OWN. Oprah's there. Mary J. Blige performs. And I had a chance to talk to Darrell Revis there for a minute. And that was kind of cool.
Of course you're going to see Darrell Revis there.
I just looked over and I was like, oh, my God, that's Darrell Revis. And some of the Patriots were there. And I was just like, yo.
Although your producer said, that's Terrence Howard.
Right, that's Terrence Howard right there. Yeah, grab Terrence Howard. I was like, no, that's not Terrence Howard.
Well, get some sleep.
Yeah, I bet you Lady Gaga's still up too, Dan. I bet she's still up.
Keep an eye on that for us.
I got it for you.
Tell Nancy we said hello.
I will, and you still have her picture up, right?
Yeah, right behind me.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah,
I told her that, and she watches.
Oh no, she's right there next to Jennifer Aniston.
There you go.
Although Aniston's picture has perfume on it, Nancy didn't send any perfume with her picture.
We're going to get that fixed up for you, Dan, in a creepy John Travolta way.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.